All right, it's the 15th of April. It's a Tuesday, and we got about 30 minutes to the NY Open. Go to the charts in a second. All right, let's start with the calendar. No news today, just like yesterday. We got nothing today. Tomorrow we have retail sales, but we got nothing today. So today should be a regular trading day, average trading day. All right, let's look at the daily time frame. Now, yesterday, a bearish doji, right? We did tap 3,200 in the NY session yesterday, and then we immediately pushed up, but we ranged, right? So we closed above 3,200. That's a bearish doji. I would ignore this candle, and I would consider this as the previous candle. Whenever there is a doji, a bullish or bearish doji, that candle on that time frame offers no information, right? So you got to look at the previous candle. So this candle still closed above 3,200. We are very bullish. We're still very bullish. Okay. Now we've tapped 3,200. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame on this chart. Right. This is what happened yesterday. We tapped here. There is demand there, and we rejected and we pushed up. Right. There is 3,200. Also a 4-hour demand. Price came, tapped it, pushed up a very little bit, and closed. Yeah, this was the candle close. This was the daily close. So we closed inside another range. Now, the previous range, we spoke about this yesterday, is about 150 pips. 150, 155 pip range, or 160 pip, right? This was the range. I'm looking at only the bodies. I'm not looking at the wicks, right? The wicks are the extremes. The bodies are where the bulk of the trading happened. So that's about 155 pip range, right? Then we broke below and we created another range here, right? Which is also another about 100 pip range, right? Now, are we going to tap this range and continue up into this range, right? So that would be about a 240, 250 pip move up, right? Are we going to stay there, or are we going to continue high today, right? So we'll have to take a look at this on the lower time frames and see what's going to happen. Now, where could possibly the daily candle close? To start with, this candle, the daily candle has no bottom wick, so price could come down, create a bottom wick, and then push up. Because you got to remember, we're still bullish. We're ignoring this candle, and we're looking at this candle. So we're still bullish. Price could come down, create a bottom wick, and then continue to push back up into that range, into this 4-hour range that we discussed, right? That's the top of the range, right there. That's the top of the range, yesterday's range, right? So we could come back. This is the daily candle open. This is the candle with no bottom wick. Price could come below it, tap it, push back into this range. That's a possibility. That's one scenario. Second scenario is we come down, break this since we've already tapped the demand and tapped 3,200. We close below and we continue down. That's the second scenario. So then in the second scenario, it's very likely we will have the daily candle will close bearish. In the first scenario, it's very likely that the daily candle will close bullish, right? Those are the two scenarios that we're going to be looking for on the lower time frame. I hope that's clear. Let's go to the trading chart. So yesterday we didn't have anything, right? We did have later on, price came down, created 30-minute support exactly at the liquidity candle and at this liquidity level 3,200, and price did dip into that area to go up, but this was uh, way past the hours that I trade, so I didn't take any trades here. I did take two small losses. I managed risks, so I did take two small losses yesterday. They weren't the ideal setups that I would have liked to take, but price was ranging yesterday. Um, so yeah, I think when price, I did take an entry here. There was a 15-minute candle that closed somewhere here. Yeah, when we broke this 15-minute high, when price came and I think broke this, was it this high? Yeah, when we created 15-minute support here and price came and broke that, then I closed the trade, right? So that was about a 50 pip loss there. The initial stop loss was there, and then I just got out at 1/3 of that, right? Because you manage risk. That's the most important thing, one of the most important things in trading. Okay, let's get rid of these lines, and let's start with an analysis. It's ugly. It looks very ugly because then, so we're going to look at we're going to keep these zones, but we're going to take a look at the 1 hour for supply, right? It's really ugly. We've been ranging for about 48 hours now, right? That about 12 4-hour candles. So it's about 48 hours. Last 2 days we've been ranging. Okay, so there is a base rally here in terms of demand. Let's start with that, the most obvious one. I'm going to include this into the base. So a drop, 2 base-in candles and a rally. Right? Let's do it like that. Drop, 2 base-in candles and a rally. We'll take a look at this on the 1 hour anyway. Let's put the numbers on this. 410, 540. Okay. Yeah, it looks okay on the 1 hour. Those are 2 zones. I'm going to bring this here. It's better. This low is 376. 3. And we'll bring this zone down so we don't overlap this. Okay. Price has gone through this liquidity candle, so we're going to delete this. We might have a new liquidity candle here because we have a new zone here, right? But for now, we're going to delete that. Now, the original zone that we had here was the 235 pip zone. Price has come 145 pips into it. I'm going to take off that label, right? I'm going to delete that because we've crossed the 50% mark of this zone, right? That was the zone, 235 pips. Price has come 145. It's still a 4-hour zone, but it's no longer a high liquidity zone. Once it crosses the 50% mark, I take the label off. Right, we have new demand here. That too is 4-hour demand, right? That was formed yesterday. Now that is obviously a reaction to the source. You have this a source, rally base rally, and this is a reaction to that, right? Let's look at supply. We're going to have to look at the 1 hour because there's nothing on the 4-hour here. Okay, let's get rid of this liquidity candle. Price has gone past it. We have a drop, base, drop, and yeah, maybe here. Let's go to the 30-minute as well. I'm going to keep it on the 1 hour. Yeah, let's keep it on the 1 hour. Okay, so that's the source, the drop, those base-in candles and the drop, and this is supply formed as a reaction to this supply here. This is the source, this is a reaction. We formed supply here. There is a drop, 3 base-in candles and a drop. That's the most recent one. There is one here as well, but this is the most recent one. Okay, so the open here is 472. Okay, I'm gonna extend this to the right, and that's all-time highs again. Okay, now this still is 1 hour supply because there is nothing visible on the 4 hour. This one above is the 4 hour supply. This one above, let's just a second. Let's just see if it's still a high liquidity zone. Yes, it is. This is, price hasn't come there. So that is still a high liquidity zone. And then we have this 1 hour supply. We're going to take a look at this new zone and see if it's a high liquidity zone later on. Okay. Let's extend this to the right. Okay. Cover about, yeah. Extend this also. And that's good enough. There's no news today, so yeah, that covers about 450 pips to the downside. That's good enough. Okay. Now, we have two new zones here. We have a supply zone, 1 hour supply zone, and we have a 4 hour demand zone. Let's start with demand because price is getting there right now. So let's start with demand. Let's see. Yeah, let's see if this is a high liquidity zone. Yeah, so there is a drop, a base, and a drop here, and price did come up. This push up did take out this supply, right? This push up here that started here took out this supply. So it is a high liquidity zone. And this one is not the one that we removed the label from. All right, let's take a look at the supply zone above. Has it taken out any demand to the left? There is a rally, a base, and a rally here, and this move down has taken out. Yeah, this move down here has taken this out. If you look at the 30-minute, yeah, we have a clear zone here, a rally, two basing candles and a rally, and again a base and a rally, and this move down has taken out. No, it hasn't taken out that low. It hasn't taken out this low. This low is 722. This low is 735. No, we haven't taken out this. Yeah, but it should. It will now. It will become a high liquidity zone. Yeah, it will. It's just a few pips away. It's going to take it out. It's got about 10 pips to go. It's going to take it out now. Anyway, we'll do it after we'll label it after it takes out this low. This low or this low. They're the same. Right? Once it takes out these lows, then we can mark this a high liquidity zone. Okay, next step. We have a new zone here. Price is coming there. Let's see if we have a high liquidity candle. Start at the 1 hour. We're looking for the largest candle of the 1 hour time frame first, and that would be this. That's a 200 pip candle. Let's start with that. Okay, let's go to the 30-minute. 86, 112. Let's go to the 15 minute. $115, 130. Yeah, that would be the candle. 15-minute candle. Let's take a quick look at the 5. Yeah, it's the 15-minute candle. Perfect. You can see the tap there. Perfect tap. 788, 480. Okay. Just a second. Hmm. Yeah, we're pushing down. Okay. Okay, I want to take a look at this area again and see, look at the liquidity candle, how far, whether we have another liquidity candle in here in this zone. Let's go to the 1 hour, start at the 1 hour. Because price is ranging, so which means it's reacting off smaller zones right now. There is 1 hour demand there for sure. Let's look at the 30-minute. That's a 149 pip candle. It's a 122 pip candle. Let's look at the 15-minute. Let's mark this on the 30-minute. Let's go to the 15-minute. 104, 115, but that's outside the zone. Let's look at the 5-minute. 188. Yeah, this would be it. This would be it. There is the tap. That's the candle. 828, 813. Yeah, that's a tap. It looks much better on the 5-minute. So once we break this low, if we break this low, you could drop another 60, 70 pips to the next liquidity candle. Okay, so we've gone past this low, right? We've gone past these lows. We were expecting that. Yeah, gone past this. Look at the 30-minute. There we go. We've gone past this, so that's a high liquidity zone now. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this zone and see if there is a liquidity candle. There is one here. Let's get rid of this and let's start looking at this area again. Let's start here. Okay, let's start here on the 1 hour time frame. These are the zones. These are fine. Let's look at supply. I'm looking for the largest bearish candle here. It's 90 pips. It's 112. 84. 24. Start here. Let's start there. Let's go to the 15. 80. 49. There's nothing here except for this 30-minute candle. It's 90. 79. This is outside. 85. Yeah, it would have to be this. If you look at the 15-minute, yeah, that's the cleanest drop, 162 pips. 136. 103. Yeah, that's the cleanest drop. 83. 89. Yeah, it would be this. Let's take a quick look at the 5-minute as well. It's nothing on the 5-minute. It's a 30-minute. Three seven four four seven six. 374476. Okay, and then this zone would be this candle. It's 124 pips. Let's look at it on the 15-minute. Yeah, that's the candle. Let's go to the 5-minute. That one right there. And price has tapped it. 378709. Okay, perfect. That's it, done. Right? That's it. We've done the analysis. We have the liquidity candles. We have our high liquidity zones. We know where we are waiting for price. Now, we still have time. We have plenty of time. I'll be back in a couple of minutes, and then we'll take a look at what price has done in the Asian session and London sessions, right? So we might have a better idea of what price could possibly do in the first couple of hours of the New York session. All right, so I'm going to keep this maybe on the 1 hour, 30 minutes maybe. Yeah, 30 minutes. Zoom out a bit, maybe. Okay, keep it like that. Okay, back in a couple of minutes. Okay, let's go to the 15-minute time frame and see where the market opened. There. So the market opened at 3211, right? That's the market open. Okay. 10. Okay, so in the Asian session, price moved up 180 pips, and in the London session, we moved up 140 pips. So 180, 150, right? Roughly about 145, 180 pips in the Asian, and now 145 pips to 150 pips in the London session. Let's take a closer look at what happened. Now, price was ranging, right? As we saw yesterday, price was ranging. We did create 30 minutes support here, and we did push up a bit, so we were a little bullish towards the latter half of the NY session, but then price started to range, right? We came, grabbed, we created a liquidity candle here. We pushed up, we came, grabbed liquidity. We went up, we came back, grabbed liquidity yesterday in the second half of the NY session, and then we pushed up off it, and we came back third time, grabbed liquidity, and we pushed. So this area is heavily tested. Got to remember that it's heavily tested. We've come deep into it, heavily tested. We have 3200 going through the zone, that liquidity candle, but it's heavily tested. We've tested it once, right? This was where it created. Price pushed up, came 1, 2, 3 times, right? Then the market opened, we ranged. We didn't need to come back because it's already tapped it 3 times just a few hours before. We created the Asian low, pushed up straight to this liquidity candle, right? That we had formed yesterday. I think during the London session, yeah, we had formed this in the London session yesterday, right? This candle right here. We came there, grabbed liquidity, pushed down, we rejected, went past up again because we're bullish now, right? We're above the EMAs. You can see we're clearly above the EMAs, and we went past it, closed above the London high, went deep into the liquidity candle, created 30-minute resistance right there, created 30-minute resistance, and closed back below, right? Came back down, went back, tapped the London high again, and the liquidity candle. We rejected, created 30-minute resistance yet again, right? And came and tapped the EMAs. Now we've been ranging now. Went back, tapped the liquidity candle, closed above the London high again, closed below it again, right? We formed, the Asian high. We closed below the Asian high. We formed 30-minute resistance again, right? That's the third time in this area. That's 1, 2, 3. We created the London high, closed below the Asian high, and we've come down and tapped the London low. We've tapped the liquidity candle inside the London session. We are pushing down. We're pushing down. We're pushing down. So, what are we going to do today? Created 30-minute resistance here, here, and here. And here again, 4 times. 1330, 15. Create a 30-minute resistance again here. Okay, here's what we're going to do. This high, take out this one, this side, 104, 101. Yeah, we took out this. Okay, so I'm looking for sales, right? I'm looking for sales. I'm looking for sales for price to come back to the Asian low or even to the liquidity candle. I'm looking for this drop here. That's about 150 pip drop, right? That's the move I'm looking for, because we've created 30-minute resistance at the liquidity candle. We created it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times. Rejecting the first time, we rejected the Asian high. Twice, we closed above, closed back below. Then we created 30-minute resistance here for the second time, and we rejected the Asian high twice. This is the first, this is the second. Then we created the London high and we rejected that and we created 30-minute resistance here and here again. So that's twice again. And now we're trading below the London high and below the Asian high. And we've tapped the liquidity candle inside the London hours, right? We've tapped the liquidity candle. Yeah, we've tapped the liquidity candle. So I'm looking for sells to come to the liquidity candle here, to this, and then to the here. So I'm waiting for this candle has broken this high, this candle has broken this high. I'm waiting for price to ideally come probably higher. This candle has no top wick, right? So maybe I'm going to wait for this candle to close, and then we might take sells to come down here, right? But I'd like to see price come deeper. This candle has no top wick. What is this high? 638. 638. So I'm looking for sells, right? That's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for buys here. I'm looking for sells. Yeah. Low 722. 682. Yeah. I'm looking for sells. But it's going to be a very wide stop loss if you sell here on the next candle. And once this candle closes, if we wait for the pullback and sell, that's going to be a very broad stop loss because we've already formed 30-minute resistance inside of pre-NY, right? We formed 30-minute resistance there. We've formed 30-minute resistance here, rejecting the Asian low and rejecting also the London high here. We formed it here. I'd like to see price come up here, possibly towards 3226.38 and then sell, but I'm not sure if you're going to get there. 862. 862. These would be the ideal places that I would like to take sells at. These lines here. 3228.62, 3226.38. Right? Those are the ideal places. But I'm not sure whether we're going to come there. But that would be ideal because the reason for that is 15-minute no top wick, 15-minute no top wick, 30-minute also no top wick. So very likely going to come there and then push down. Let's see. I'm not sure if we're going to come there, but I'd like to see a pullback up there because that has less risk and more profit potential, right? Rather than selling here. So we just have to be patient and wait. Let's look at the 1 hour time frame. 1 second. Let's just save this. Yeah, I'd like to see price pull back up. Yeah, I think we're coming up here. Yeah. Let's wait for the candle to close. But what I'm looking for is sells. Like I said several times, I'm looking for sells to come down here to the liquidity candle. Now keep in mind this candle has been heavily tapped, so we could go through it, but you would want to take your partial positions here, 3 to 10, and then 3208, 3210, 3208, and then 3200. Let's take a look at the 4 again. Yeah, that's the low, the daily low and the Asian low. Yeah, 135, 140 pip drop if you can get those sells. We're going to wait for the candle to close. Right, we're going to wait for the candle to close. Let's wait. 30-minute resistance form, liquidity candle has been tapped. It doesn't need to come back up, but it can. It can come up here several times before heading down, but it doesn't need to because we've tapped it inside the London hours, right? We've tapped, this is a liquidity candle to the left that we drew, that one right there based off the 30-minute time frame, and it's been tapped inside London hours. So it doesn't need to come back, but it can come up as many times as it needs to. So that is why I'm waiting for the 15-minute candle to close and then draw the fib and then look to take sells to come down. Any questions on anything that I've said so far? Feel free to drop a message in the chat and I'll do my best to answer. I hope everything I've said is clear. I hope the analysis was clear. I hope what I'm planning to do, why I'm planning to do what I'm planning to do is clear. Right? So if I do take sells, initial stop loss has to be above the liquidity candle high, but then we're going to manage risk if price comes deeper. These are the areas that I really want to take entries at. 326, 3226 point, let's say 38 or 4, 3228.6, right? You can say 3226.5 and 3228.5, right? As round numbers. Those are the areas I want to take sells. Stop loss there above this liquidity candle high, and TP's Asian low, that's 3210 and lower down, right? Maybe 327, 3207. Yeah, 3207, 3210. They're coming up, which is what we want. We want price to come up. It's got a minute more for the candle to close. Well, let's wait patiently. Okay. Nice. We're coming up. Very nice. I'll take a sell here. Taken one sell there. 437952. Now come in deeper. Perfect. If you come here, I'll take another entry here. Da, 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 da. Place a pending order there. 38. Place one there as well. Okay. Stop loss there. And we'll find a way to manage risks now. 375. And this one is 1923212. So these are TP levels. Getting there. Da, 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 da. So this is first TP. It's about 115, 116 pips. 333,212. But let's see, I'd like to get another entry up here and here, if you can come. Now, how are we going to manage risk? Okay. Let's take another position here. Coming down, we're falling. Shame, we didn't tap the entry. We missed the entry by a pip, 1 pip. This high is 22, yeah, just by a pip and a few points. But it's okay, I've taken another entry here. So we're anticipating price to come. Let's see where this could fall. Still falling. The 15-minute candle is still not closed. There's a long time for the 15-minute candle to close. Could be coming straight down, yeah. So first TP is at 3212. Next one is at 3208. 3212, 3208, right? So yeah, that's about 100 pips, and then this one here is about 155 pips. That's a move that we were anticipating at the beginning when we did our analysis. That's the move we were anticipating, a push down. I said it when we were here. I said when we were discussing the 4-hour, what the two scenarios that could happen, I clearly explained two scenarios that can happen. Go back and listen to it. And it seems like one of those scenarios are playing out where we push down, right? This is a shame that it didn't tap the high here. It doesn't need to, like I've said this many times. Once the liquidity candle is tapped in the London session, price does not need to come back and tap it again in the NY session. It can do it, but it doesn't need to. We are dropping. We're dropping it hard now. Look at that 5-minute candle. We're pushing down hard, right? If we close below, we need to close below the London low, right? We rejected it once. We close below. A 15-minute candle closes below. We're coming straight down to the Asian low. Still have a lot of time for the candle to close though. So we could push back all the way up again. This low is 682. This low is 699. Gotta wait for the candle to close. What is this high? 622, 699. Okay, so we were discussing how we're going to manage risk, right? One second, let me just change the color on this. This is one, because that's the most important thing to do. How do you manage risk if price goes against you? Okay, let's look at the 30-minute time frame. Now, if you look left, 3231 is a 30-minute support SR level, right? You can see price bounced off it, pushed up, bounced off, pushed up. Whenever it closes below, we stay below, we tapped it, pushed down. Same thing here, we closed above, closed below, we tapped it, pushed down, right? So that is a 3231 is a level. Then let's look at we are coming down though. We're just about 35 pips away from our TP for TP1. Anyway, 3227. Yeah, 3227 is the next one. We're coming down. We're coming down very fast. This was a quick trade coming straight to TP1 3212. I hope you got this trade. Tap soon as the candle closed. I explained everything very clearly. Soon as this candle closed, I said I'm going to take a trade. I took a trade up here, one here, and I took another one up here. When the 5-minute candle closed like this, I took another one. That's a clear rejection of the liquidity candle and trying to push down. That's the reason I took the second trade. I wish price had come and tapped this, but it didn't. But we're coming down now. 3212 is TP1. Okay, what was I saying? I was saying this here. Okay. I don't think we're going to need to manage risk on this because we're coming to TP1, but you never know, right? So here are the two levels to manage risk, and let me quickly explain why. 30-minute resistance. Candle tried to, we closed above, we rejected it here, we closed above, came back, closed below, right? You can see clear 30-minute resistance here. We closed above, we came, tapped it twice, closed below, and we tapped it again. You can see we tapped 3227 to the pip here, right? So that is why we have 3227 here. Then above that, I explained why we have 3231. So if a 15-minute candle closes above 3227, you manage risk, right? And if you still want to hold, I will probably close all my trades once a 15-minute candle closes above 3227. I'll probably close everything, right? But if you want to hold and manage, you want to hold the trade into the liquidity candle, then here's your next level to manage risk at 3231. If a 15-minute candle closes above 3231, you manage risk, right? So first here 3227, and then about 40 pips above it is 3231. I will manage risk here, right? So that makes my stop loss about 45 pips on that trade and about 30 pips on this trade, right? Instead of having 117 pip stop loss, you manage risk and keep it down to about 30 to 40 pips, right? That's how I'm going to manage risk because they make sense, right? Price came, you can see on the 30-minute time frame, the 3227 is an important level. You can see how close price came here. We closed below, we tapped it here, we tapped it here and pushed up, we closed below, we closed back above, we closed back below. Here we formed 30-minute resistance here, 3227. It's very clear. We tapped it here, we tapped it here, we closed above, we closed back below, we tapped it. You can see how important 3227 is. Same with 3231, right? If you look left, you can see I already explained it, 3227, 3227 and 3231. Okay, so the candle is closing a doji. That doesn't matter. We know exactly where we're going to manage risk. Okay, so this candle, so I might take another entry here. Let's see if we push back, then pull back, then I'll take another entry. Formed 15-minute resistance now. We've tapped this, close below. This is the fib. This candle took out this high. This candle took out this high, right? And price could drop to 3202, 3203. But here's TP1, this is TP2. If you want to hold further, you can hold down to 3203, right? That's your next TP level, 3203. Those are the three TP levels. 622431. 30-minute candle closed a doji. 15-minute candle closed a tradable candle, but a big bottom wick. But we formed 30-minute resistance here. Gonna take another trade there. Take another trade there. Right? Took another entry there. Keep that also 3212. It's about 90 pips. 100 pips here and 150 pips down. We could push up. That's a 5-minute candle to push up. It's a 5-minute rejection candle to push up. We could push all the way up. Nevertheless, that is why we have areas to manage risk at. Okay, 3227, 3231. There needs to be a 15-minute close below the London low if you for price to continue to push down. 15-minute candle needs to close below this, the London low. We've rejected it twice. Needs to have a 15-minute candle close below. There is no candle close, not even on the 5-minute. There is no candle close below the London low. We need a close to continue. Need a 15-minute close. I might close this position here and wait up. Let's see, maybe not. Maybe I'll keep it. Yeah, that's okay. 64 pips, that's fine. $203. Is a daily. That's the daily low. We should come below that. So we should come to 3208. That's a decent drop. It's 170. Yeah, from up here, from the liquidity candle, that's a 170 pip drop. That's good enough. Again, 15-minute candle needs to close below the London low for price to continue further down. Long time for the candle to close, 8 minutes. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Yeah, we're waiting for the candle to close. 7.5 minutes more for the candle to close. We have to wait. Uh, the trades are active, sells active. We spoke about this right from the beginning of the session. We said that I'm looking to take sells for all the reasons that I explained. I would have liked to see price tap 3226.5, but it didn't, or 3226.3, it didn't, unfortunately, but we dropped, tapped and dropped. Okay, I'll be back in a couple of minutes. We're pushing up here. We're pushing up. This was the 5-minute candle that rejected, and this is came, grab liquidity to push back up. We're pushing up. I said we need to see a 15-minute candle close below this, the London low, for price to continue down, and still we don't have that, right? We still don't have that. So what we see right now is price pushing up. It's a 5-minute candle, and we're pushing up. Let's see how this 15-minute candle closes. If we close strong bullish, then I might close one of these positions here, because the next one will likely break the high and continue higher. Let's see. It's got another minute for the candle to close. Let's wait. It's a lot of volume though. 119 pips. 66. 47. Yeah, lots of volume. No, we closed the doji again. Yeah, there is volume, but we're moving sideways. We moved down, we moved back up, we moved down, we moved back up. Yeah, it's a doji. Bullish doji. Still waiting for a 15-minute candle to close below the London low for us to continue down. Here's where we're managing risk. Here's where I'm managing risk, 3227, right? And there's another level above here that also you can manage risk at, 3231. But I'm managing risk here, 3227. Yeah, that's where I'm managing risk. pushing up. We are pushing up. This candle is the reason why we're pushing up. This candle right here, this 5-minute candle. We rejected, clean push up, came down, grabbed liquidity, and pushing up. So 57. Yeah, we're likely pushing up back here. Yeah. Oh, fuck. We're still ranging. Even though we have volume, we're ranging. Prices has come back all the way up from the push down. We had a 110 pip push down, 108, 15 pip push down. We've come back 90 pips. We retrace most of that move back up. We're still pushing up. We're likely to come further up. Price needs to close. A 15-minute candle needs to close below this. See these wicks? Wicks here, wick here, wick here, wick here, wick, all wicks. A 15-minute candle needs to close at it or below it for price to continue down. Here. Now for the 4-hour candle to close. Yeah, the 4-hour candles also are nothing, no information at all. The previous 4 hours a doji, the one before that is a doji. So if you look at this one, this is still bullish, but this candle has tapped into this range here. All right, we spoke about this range, 160 pip range. We've tapped into it, and we've created 30-minute resistance several times, anticipating price to push down to the support here. For our support, that's where the first TP is at, and the next one is below that. Still nothing. Mm. Still pushing up. Probably higher. This candle is likely to close bullish as well. Create a bottom wick and maybe push up, close bullish, and then we could probably continue to head up. Still have 4 minutes for the candle to close. Let's see. It has to close below this, below these wicks. See how important this level is? Right from the market open, we rejected. Closed below, closed back above, closed below, then stayed below. Closed above, stayed above, tapped, stayed above. So we need to close below. Once we close below, we're coming down here and here. 321750, that's the area. Let's take another sell there. Let's see, come here. 30-minute seems to be closing a doji again, so that'll be the fourth doji. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it's got a minute and a half for the candle to close. You might be close like this. Even if you close above here, it's still a doji. It's a bearish doji. So that's 4 candles then with no information, unless we close below the London low. In the next minute, we drop about 15 pips or 20 pips and close below. Still closing, still a doji. It's no information on any of these candles. Yeah, nothing, nothing. Created a bottom wick, pushing back up. If we form 30-minute support here, I'm going to manage risk. That means we're pushing further up, right? We form 30-minute support. Yeah, I'm going to manage risk on these trades. So 1 hour, how did it close? Three double four. We form 30-minute support here. Dojis all and then 30-minute support here. So that's not a good sign. You want to manage risk now. That's a 30-minute high, 320, 3223.44. You want to manage risk there. Yeah, we broke the high. We're pushing further up now. Form 30-minute support. Pushing further up. Seven. We're coming up here. Yeah. Closed a couple of my positions. Once you broke the high, just here I closed a couple of positions. Because now we formed 30 minute. I always say this. Once price forms 30-minute support, you're in a sell and we form 30-minute support, the chances of price going in your direction is cut by half. I've said that many, many times over, right? So you got to manage risk. That is why I put the red line there, 3223.44. You got to manage risk. If we form resistance again, then yes, we can take the sells to come down. But right now, we're pushing up. Right now, we're pushing up. Yeah, I closed another position. All around this area, I closed 3 of my positions because we formed support, right? So once support forms, now the chances of price going down is 50%. It can go down, but 50%. There's a 50% chance that price can now continue higher, right? We form 30-minute support. So you got to be careful. And it's dojis, we're just ranging. There is no information. Doji, doji, doji. That's a bullish candle. So now it looks it looks price action shows that price is going against the trade. It can still go down, but you want to see 15-minute back candle close, a tradable 15-minute back candle, at least a tradable 15-minute back candle close for price to continue down. Right now we're pushing up. Yeah, this is not a no, this is price is pushing up. Pushing up. This is why you manage risk. You manage risk. I didn't have to wait up here. Soon as I saw 30-minute support form, I put a level at 3223.44. I manage risk right there, right? Because I was waiting for maybe a 1-minute candle to close back below after we broke. So maybe we reject and we close below, but it didn't. It closed above. Then I closed the trade, right? That's 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 what you can see how price is pushing up now, right? We formed 30-minute support. We broke the high. We're pushing up. I have pending orders up there. I'm keeping those pending orders. I'm not going to delete them. Because this candle has no top wick, so that's the reason I have my pending order there. Ooh, what happened? Didn't trigger. Tapped it. The spread was too high. 1.1 pip. It didn't trigger. Wow. Wow. Didn't trigger. Phew. Let's see. We've broken the high, so it doesn't make sense in having the fib anymore. Wow, that was a open two trades there. That's a bearish engulfing candle. Let's see. Push down. 30 pips. That's good. These are still my levels: 3227, 3231, right? If we close, if we break 3227, then I'm closing everything. Then um, it's very likely price is going to continue higher and not go down. But the sell idea is still there because we haven't got up here. We haven't closed above 3227. But once we close there, that means we're closing above this previous level, so we can be pushed deeper in, much deeper in. right? So that is why I will get out. 3227 is my area that I'll get out. There is another level here at 3231 if you want to use that, but 3227 is my area where I'll get out. Six three six double nine two. 15-minute again, doji. It's just doji, doji, doji. That's a bearish candle. That's a tradable candle, but it's all dojis after that. So we pushed up, pushed down 115 pips. We came back 115 pips. There is volume. Yeah, pushed down 119, came back 119, 120. There is volume, but it's just moving sideways. Yeah, we're still struggling to go down. We're pushing up. That's my level, like I said, 3227. We 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 break above that. I close everything. I'm done with the sells. Unless I see 30-minute resistance form again, and then look to take sells. Other than that, nothing. If price breaks this high, I repeat again, if price breaks 3227 high, so that's my stop loss is about 30 pips. If you break the high, I close everything and probably call it a day. Or if 30-minute, if maybe later on 30-minute resistance forms again, then look to take the trade to come down, right? These are still the areas that we're waiting at: 3212, 3208, and 3203, right? Those are still the areas. But right now, there is nothing. Price is just moving sideways. We've created 30-minute support. Um, we need a 30-minute back candle has to close now. Now that we have 30-minute support, a 30-minute back candle needs to close below this level, right? So you can see support here, you can see support here, you can see support here. They're all at the same area, right? Yeah, there's even support here, right? So a 30-minute back candle needs to close below 3220. Yeah, 3220. A 30-minute back candle needs to close below 3220. Because once we form support, that means we're pushing up, right? And that's exactly what happened. Price broke the high, pushed up another 30 pips. So now we need to see resistance form. And a candle needs to close, a 30-minute candle needs to close below 3220. Not a 15, but a 30-minute candle, because we have 30-minute support. I hope that's clear. If this candle, this candle has a long time to close. It's got almost another 12 minutes. If this candle closes bullish, it's very likely I'll close everything. I'll probably not even wait for this high. I'll close everything, which means Now we are bullish. This candle has formed support, is bullish. Next one is also bullish, and the next one will break the high and continue higher, right? So either whichever happens first. If price breaks 3227 before the candle before this 30-minute candle closes, I close everything. If 30 minutes up, this candle closes bullish before hitting this, also very likely that I'll close everything. So pushing up. Yeah, we're pushing back up. This 5-minute closes strong bullish, we're pushing up. Look at this 5-minute candle. It's all because of this candle. See this candle? Strong rejection, massive candle push up. 57 pip 5-minute candle, right? Came, didn't break the low, grabbed liquidity, pushed all the way up. 110 pips. Yeah, we're closing strong. Are we? No, it's a doji. It's a doji. Okay, let's probably wait. Yeah. I'm gonna close everything once we break this high. I'm not gonna even wait for 3227. Once we break this 15-minute high, it's very likely the 30-minute is going to close bullish and continue up then, right? So once we break this high, I'm closing everything. Right here, 3226.36. Right here. Once we break this high, 3226.36, I'll close everything. So that's just what, 27 pip stop loss. That's how you manage risk. You got to have a logical way based off price action to manage risk. And that's what I say always, right? It makes sense. It formed, I said, 30-minute. Once 30-minute support forms, there is a fifth. The chance of price going in your direction is cut by half. It can go, but there's a 50% chance that it could not go, right? Because we form support to push up. So once, if we break this 30-minute high, if the next candle breaks the high, or if the current candle breaks its own high, that's it. I'm out of cells. Not going to take any more sells. We're going to wait for probably I'll call it a day or wait for another 30-minute candle to form. 30-minute resistance and a tradable 30-minute back candle to close. Or I'll call it a day because we are ranging. We're definitely ranging. We're moving sideways. If you look at the 4-hour, we're just moving sideways. We've got about 37 minutes for the 4-hour candle to close. And these are dojis. This is very likely also could be a doji. All right, so we're just moving sideways. Let's see. We have to close, 30-minute candle needs to close below 3220, or a 15-minute candle needs to close below the London low. One of those two things have to happen for price to push down. Okay, one of those two things have to happen for price to push down. A 30-minute candle needs to close below 3220, or a 15-minute candle needs to close below, a 15-minute back candle needs to close below the London low. I hope everything that I've said, why I closed up, why I manage risk, how I manage risk, why I said those levels are important. I hope everything makes sense. If it isn't, ask me. Still nothing. We're still pushing up. We're probably creating a bottom wick to head up. Still got about 6.5 minutes for the candle to close. Da, 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 da. 4 minutes more for the candle. 4.5 minutes for the candle to close. Still struggling. You can see how what's been happening on the 30-minute, right? So it's doji, another doji, another doji. This is also an inside bar candle. It didn't break the high, nor did it break the low. It closed inside, but it's a bullish candle. It formed support. The next one broke the high, went deeper in. Now it's trying to come back again down. Or is it coming down to create a bottom wick and push back up because we've already broken the high? Or is it coming down to close below 3220? If it closes below, that means we form resistance. If it closes below, got another 4 minutes. If it closes below, then we formed resistance and it needs to close below 3220. And then you need to see a 15-minute bear candle close below the London low, right? Right there, below 3217.3. 30 minutes for the candle to close. It's very likely that we close a doji again. If we do close a doji, I think I'm going to close everything because we're just moving sideways. There's nothing happening. Four candles are all closing doji. If this 30-minute candle closes a doji, I'm going to call it a day. How long have I been here? Yeah, this is the NYSE open. Yeah. Okay, so this is also the end of the session. Now, I've said exactly how I'm going to manage risk on this trade. Um, if we break this high, what's this? Not this one. If you break this high, that's 24 pips away from my entry. If you break the high, 3226.36, I close everything and that's it. No more trades. I'm going to call it a day. Okay. That's how I'm going to manage risk on this because it makes no sense. If we break the 30-minute high, if you break this, if the next candle breaks this 30-minute high, then we're pushing up further, right? If we break the high, we're pushing deeper into the zone. We could very likely go deeper in, create 30-minute resistance, come back down, or we can go, because the zone's been tapped so many times, we could break the zone and go even further. So it makes no sense to hold drawdown. We're struggling to close below 3220, right? And I said for price to move down, a 30-minute candle needs to close below 3220 and a 15-minute candle needs to close below the London low, and neither of them are happening right now. It seems like we're pushing back up. So if we break above 3226.36, that's it. That's the end of, I'm not going to be trading any longer. Yeah, we're pushing up. We're trying to close bullish. Okay, that's it. I'm not going to give any trade ideas because we're ranging, right? We're just ranging. You can see that price is just flatlining. 4 candles are all dojis. Price, the EMAs are moving sideways. They're parallel to each other, moving sideways. If you really do want to take sells, wait for 30-minute resistance to form and a tradable 30-minute back candle to close at a liquidity level. So either at this liquidity candle up here or at this one up here to take sells to come down. If you want to buy, wait for 30 minutes support to form and a tradable 30-minute bull candle to close, either at the liquidity candle or at 3,200 or at the liquidity level below uh, to take the trade to go up. Okay, that's it. That's the end of the session. It's a doji again. Price is just moving sideways. There is nothing happening, right? All these 30-minute candles are dojis. Price is just moving sideways. All right, that's the end of the stream. Price hasn't uh, moved either higher or lower since we opened. We're stuck in this range, in a 100 pip range, right? All right. Uh, we'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. We'll do an analysis and see if we have trades. I think tomorrow is retail sales, so we should have a setup tomorrow. This is probably because it's retail sales tomorrow. We're ranging, so we should have a trade tomorrow. All right. Take care. Stay safe. Don't over risk. Don't overtrade. All right. We'll be back tomorrow, 7:30 a.m. EST. Take care.